So, here's what we're going to cover today, right? We're going to talk about a few different things. One, we're going to talk about the 4 steps for success. I'm going to give you 4 things that you need to do if you want to effectively tell stories. I'm going to give you lots of tips and techniques. There's going to be tons of things you can walk out of here with. And we're also, as you can imagine, going to use a lot of stories and examples and anecdotes as we go through it. So, you might be thinking, what, Brad, are those 4 steps? I'll tell you right now. 1, you want to keep it real. And I'll give you a headline right here, and I'm going to get into each one of these 4. Keeping it real. So often we talk about concepts, we talk about theories. We don't talk in words that are real that people understand. I'll give you an example of that. Beg, borrow, or steal. That's all about borrowing interest. How can we use other things that people all know and can resonate with to deliver effective presentations? Here's a headline, simpler is better. As you can imagine, if you've got a PowerPoint slide with 75 words on it, it's kind of hard to tell a story. And then ultimately, we're going to talk about commanding the room. So you could really have great stories you want to tell, but if you can't tell them in an effective way through your body language, through your voice, you're probably not going to resonate as well as you'd like. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to start with keeping it real. Think about your recruiting presentation. Think about your new hire orientation. Think about your new business pitches. If you're involved in that, what does it mean for the audience? What are the stories you can tell to bring your company to life? Chances are they're not a bunch of words on a slide. Chances are they're stories. Next step for storytelling, simpler is better. The less on a page, the easier it is to present and to tell a story. You should never have more than 20 words on a slide. Who in this room has ever had more than 20 words on a slide? I feel like I was writing something up this morning actually, Brad. No! Never more than 20 words on a slide. I will prove to you in a moment that it's actually harder to present the more words you have on a page. I'm an old man.
No, you're not.
I am. I presented before we had PowerPoint. All you history majors in here, how do we present in the pre-PowerPoint days?
Transparencies.
Transparencies and overhead projectors. Millennials, these were really warm devices that had a massive light on it that projected, and you could use a Sharpie to write on them, or your secretary, that's a story for another day, your secretary would type on them for you and print them out that way, okay? And here's what we were taught to do, you remember this? You'd put the transparency on there because it's already pre-printed. And then you'd put a solid sheet of paper over it, right? And then you'd pull it down one by one to physically build your slides.
Yeah.
That's what we had to do. And then Bill Gates invented PowerPoint, so we didn't have to do it anymore.
Thank God.
Build your slides. If you're going to present it, no crazy number of words on a slide. What's the maximum number of words on a slide?
20.
20. You want to know what's funny, ladies and gentlemen? Nowhere in my presentation does it say 20. You remembered it, even though it wasn't written on a slide. People remember things that aren't written on slides. Gestures. As you probably imagine, from today, I'm a big fan of gestures. Why do you think I like gestures? They engage people. We're visual learners. Okay? It connotes energy and excitement. It can help enhance your tone. See how I did that? It can help enhance your tone, right? The problem that most people make when they gesture, though, is they make their gestures way too small. And most people gesture, I've seen thousands of presenters, most people gesture as if their elbows are sewn firmly to the sides of their body. And they do this. We have got a huge idea for you guys today. From top to bottom, we've reoriented everything. We started out over here, now we're in a completely different direction, way, way, way over here. It's explosive. Ladies and gentlemen, release the arms. We have got a huge idea for you today. From top to bottom, we've reoriented everything. We started out over here, and we're in a completely different direction over here. It's explosive in terms of what it can do for ourselves, our brain, okay? Now, did that look weird to you? Not really. It kind of feels weird when you're up here doing it. And even if I was just speaking to 8 people up here, I still want my gestures pretty big, okay? It's hard to get them out, but get your hands out. It makes a big difference. The 4 steps to success we talked about. Remember keeping it real? Remember the media research, the Leo Burnett recruiting story, talking about real things. We talked about millennials, talking about real things that people understand. One great way to keep things real is to make sure that you're borrowing interest. We've all seen this movie. We all know this TV show. This is exactly like what a particular experience is like. Let other things do the hard work for you when you're trying to think of a story. Think of those analogies, those examples. Simpler is better. What's the maximum number of words? 20, right? Never more than 20 words on a slide. It's harder to present, it's harder to tell a story when you have more words. And ultimately, make sure you're commanding the room. You've got good body language, right? You're staying away from the loincloth. You got your hands in a good spot, really good eye contact, and of course, you're the best possible you. Thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.